Yeah. Yes, we are starting today rather very early. In fact, it's super early. 10:16 in the morning. Wow. Regardless, greetings and salutations everybody, and welcome to Zibel's Let's Plays coming films to you from the dark side of the moon. My name is Invisible, YouTube's first ever alternate slasher, and this is the Let's Play for Aragami NightFall DLC. Previously we began the game with Hugh. Okay, shall continue on where we stopped at. Chapter 3, the hunt for answers. Before we start, shall I give my usual prayer for my videos? So, peace be upon all of my subscribers, new and old. Peace be upon all of the ones and fans. Peace be upon all of my family and relatives and friends, everyone on the Discord server of United, and the members of the Beasts of the Altered family, namely Thunderstruck Gaming, Beat09 Gaming, Zoxbar, Marcos, Petro Crash, Mark IC, and Skyfield, ZPTV13, Slagada Code 85, Alfrel. May you stay strong and recover from your fiction, positive infection. Also, Muscle Pan Gaming and everyone else that supports us always. May I be able to play as professionally as possible. May I be able to reach your expectations and ideas for me and my gameplay. Shall we start? Yeah, we shall, but first I need to change the scene to number 7. Normally, I would record at approximately 8 p.m. or much later. But because yesterday last night I was very much tired for some reason, and I wasn't in my best form, so I decided that I would delay my recording session until today's morning. For how long will we be recording? I don't know. Until I satisfied.
つ集めない。وكان يسكي تصور نوتني.
Chapter 3, The Hunt for Answers. So we are playing as usual as Hugh, Yamiko's foster father, and her father's best friend, and Shinobu's Char. What have we learned so far from the previous session? Previous.
めないの。
で、石食うの。
いや。
Okay, can I speak now? Thank you. So last time we stopped after we infiltrated Nishiko's personal headquarters after the cursed Kaiho leaders Hikaru and the Brotherhood occupied it and invaded it for themselves. We saw how racist Hikaru truly is and how much impatient he is. He just wishes to help his weak, disgusting comrade Yuki to recover from the side effects of having Yakimu's spirit fragment within him, which in the first place they never had the right to do, to own them to begin with it. And he was more than ready to kill the alchemist for it. Him for now. And Hikaru, you are the one who needs his skills, not the other way around.
Oh, そうだね。
そらめ。もう至らなんだ。
忍ぶ。
わや。
The fools have achieved so much than I predicted. When I heard that the four self-proclaimed generals, army of blacksmiths and peasants, Rant Shadow Empress of Nishiko, Shoko, scanned answers they gave me half of a decade ago, managed to execute the forbidden perfectly. Split the Empress's soul into 5 fragments and locked 4 of them away themselves. Their leader, Ryo, took his fragment to the grave. Sensing her impending defeat, Empress enclosed herself in an vortex, an inert orb. Sense and time rendered her invincible but trapped. Interesting. "5 years since, it is but a matter of time before the foreign soul's bodies destroys them. The original host. He will be the first to break." Sounds for me like good news. This fragment is nowhere to be found, but that returning the would be enough. Shadow Empress. What happened exactly with the main game? And yet, perhaps but one fragment is enough. Enough to give the Empress lucidity. She would still be trapped, but I am certain she would pose a threat. If only the sages hadn't disbanded. Chief damned Tsuyoshi and his minuscule vision. It was but the beginning.
Senyo de la Katsui. Yamiko, Senyo mo de la Katsui. Yuki, Kaniyo, Misaku iku.
おキャヌスケゾロノートに。
いや、ワネオルでセーデラディ。
まあそこ。
Sorry. I'm not sure if I will be able to use this orb again, but there might be other useful information here.
そうだね。
We can look, but keep it quick. Shinobu, I hope your hand is still in good shape, since you looked like you were hurting from touching that place. Also, I must mention that for life essence user, this looks like a necromancer's lair. For real. What a lunatic. What's this? Note in the front of the raven's cage. ... Hour of the rat. State stable. Subject has endured soul corruption but remains unable to move. So previous specimens lasted this long. No previous specimens last this long. Must be the work of Tsuyoshi. Needs further research. These lunatics were literally experimenting with life force itself, the life essence. What's this? Okay, Captain Ryo. According to the captains, their partner Ryu was crucial to the Empress's downfall. They say the soul fragment he collected from her was so enormous that his own body was destroyed during the transfer. May consider him a hero. Bullshit. They were in awe of how he pushed the forbidden technique to such limits. I certainly empathize with him. How did he keep a fragment of the Empress sealed within his soul even after he died? I didn't think it was possible. If this is what he achieved, and my theory is correct, then Ryu's soul is now unable to leave this world. It is still here, carrying Yamiko's soul fragment. It is somewhere in this city, invisible, imperceptible, waiting for someone to release it, or place it in a new host. That's literally what happened when Yamiko sadly summoned the Aragami soul. Instead of herself getting a reincarnated soul goo assassin to completely be loyal to herself, she summoned a vessel for this cursed soul, and alongside with it, her own spirit fragment. Meaning, basically, had Aragami Ryu died when the Empress Yamiko attacked, she would have regained all of her powers completely. And that would have been for me a great celebration. A great celebration against tyranny of the Light Brotherhood, against racism of the Light Brotherhood, and against their disgusting nature. I believe by now it is not a secret anymore to anyone that I hate the Light Brotherhood in this game. I hate it completely. Also, for those who do not know, that are not among my best friends, I consider myself a very, very, very radical and serious person. I do not joke around. I do not make humor or even try to sound funny. I am sincerely trying to sound sarcastic. My jokes are realistic, dark, and I use tons of dark, realistic humor. I am saying this because it looks like there is a too much amount of people who think that when I state something very radical, serious in its nature, that I'm trolling. I am troll's enemy number one. For me, a troll user is better dead than alive. So, to see that the tree has done to something like that. Let's hope this old man can kill the Shadow Empress once and for all. Perhaps we can go back home. Oh, the sun be listening. The sun is listening to me, not to you. Here, go back to home where you belong, to hell. Disgusting Light Brotherhood pigs. May the sun always remain in an eclipse. Disgusting folks. So yeah, whenever I speak out or spit some commentary, just understand that in the normal communication lessons, as human beings, nothing at all, absolutely nothing is above criticism. But the Idea is, how do you criticize something with morality and not with just pure hatred? I myself see myself as a very radical critic. I do not take a no from anybody. If you wish to debunk me, give me a counter argument, or leave me alone. If you just wish to start arguing or fighting over something we speak about, to me, the very moment you lose my interest, you are lesser than dead. You're just a messed up abortion that should have never been delivered. Invisible, why are you very much almost like ranting currently while you are playing the video game right in the front of your face? Well, glad you asked myself. I'm not exactly ranting, I'm just making a statement right here and now. I am sick of people who think I'm just joking around. I'm sick of people that believe that I am too radical, that I should just chill around and stop being too much negative. I'm so much sick of time out of the supposedly accepted upon the society. I am just taking it way too much. I mean what I speak. If you don't like it, leave. It's just that simple. If you don't wish to leave and you wish to keep on interrupting and patronizing my place and my channel and my statements, you are my enemy. And once you become my enemy, I will not remain silent. People always the time keep telling me, what will you do when you get angry? Oh, he's so much dramatic. Well, let's just be clear about one thing, okay? I am not some person that likes to joke around or likes to make empty threats. Once you become my enemy, your name will scarred into my soul. And once I have within my hands the possibility to give you extreme harm, I will. And if it was fatal, it's even better. That having been said, I'm trying my best now to finish this level and notice as much as possible. I still pray for Arfril for a quick, great recovery. It's positive reaction. Bug tests. We almost reached 100 hours in the overall calculation for these videos, which is very much a great and big achievement. The reason is very simple, really. For YouTube's partnership program, YPP, the creators require to have 4,000 hours eligible for ads or anything else for that matter. So far, my channel doesn't have even the one-time thank you mechanism available for applying. And I am a person who is trying his best to finish his high studies, so and take care of the family. I'm slowly thinking about opening up a Patreon. I know this is coming out of the nowhere since I just stated how much I hated those who argue with me, and currently I'm about to request some kind of support. This is just kind of lunacy. And I do agree with you, it is kind of lunacy. But once I cool down, I can speak calmly, obviously. So my question right now here is, if I do end up opening up a Patreon or any other way, start accepting donations, to be willing to support this channel with it myself to continue on.
ま、追加
勇気我ねオルデスーデラティ
Continue on content creating for this channel, and if possible, even having face-to-face communications sessions. I don't know. Wish to see more of me, or wish to request even stuff is forward. I wouldn't really mind it at all, as long as you are supporting. What's this? Nothing here really is worth of notes. Exactly. Just know this, whoever respects me, I respect them back. Whoever disrespects me is my enemy. And I am not a person that just after text wars or in this never satisfying text-based fights. I'm a person who is more than ready to share with you his personal location, directions, and have a fight with you face to face. I'm growing sick and tired so much of hearing and listening day and night about so many news and notices of people getting very much harmed of internet trolls. Why am I being so much offensive instead of my usual, more sarcastic self? Simple. Today, before we started stream, right now, I watched a few videos about how much content creators are being targeted and attacked personally over very trivial and silly matters. And whenever I state how ready I am to reserve my personal privacy and security, my right of survival, people said that I am being too much same with my statements and think that I'm just joking around or playing also a troll myself. Do you like to know when do I exactly play troll? Never. I'm not a troll. I do not joke at all. And even when I do try to be sarcastic, my humor is very realistic and most of the time is very dark and unfunny, to say the least. It's really weird that I grew up with parents who can never stop joking around, to the point where I no longer can figure out whether they speak is a joke, it's a serious matter. And because of that, but a very much serious person whose every word is literally. For me, every single word I spit out has both the power of life and death. If someone is harmed by what I say, and I consider them as my friends, whoever harmed them is on my death list. I am already on my way to my 30s. I believe I have already lived long enough. I wouldn't mind dying. That would mean to save or protect someone that I respect or care about. Is not clear enough already as is. Yeah. Today I am very much enraged. Before I even started this stream. Why did I start then? Because I like to have some more progress within this game. Since yesterday I didn't do anything. Calm down, Invisible, calm down. Just try to enjoy what you're doing and concentrate on tactics. This is being a little bit too reckless. I have already lost too many people. Internet trolling. And even YouTube's own broken rules. And this site is still on my to kill lists, by the way. I don't care if Google has control over this site. I don't care if Alphabet has it all under its own sleeve. Just like the birds flap their wings to ascend to the sky, they will eventually have to land or fall by the hunter's gun. Nobody is invincible, nobody is immortal, and everyone will surely fall. As long as something is built by a human being, it is guaranteed to fall. Let's go to the other side to check it out before we try to perhaps open this place. Yeah, I can. Will I? No, not really. Not yet. I need first to clean off the rest of these guys. It is said that the Third World War will be completely cyber. That is not wrong at all. It is cyber. And the funny thing yet is it is already happening. The degeneracy in the rules, the degeneracy, the regulations, the complete troll for the internet neutrality, and the capitalization on the freedom, the content creation, it is among the creative war on the people who cannot afford anything else. But also don't forget that these very people that are being targeted can simply learn the art, retaliate, and destroy the aggressor. Learning computer science and how to weaponize machines is not that hard. I think I have right now a good title for this video. Aragami NightFall Stream Part 2. What happens when you stream while being enraged? Let's also say just Isabel have had enough. There you go. Shinobu, this one out of my face. Finish him. Yes, I ran out of completely of my shadow distance right now. I mean, why not? Shinobu. Thank you. I plan to refill my with this one, but what is done is done. So either this place or that place. I'll choose this one, since we have already arrived here. I'm starting to think that I do recall this level. And it's a very disgusting one to that matter. So, a very difficult one. The voice you keep hearing, like a bell, is me spamming R to place the mark of the Aragami, mark of Nishiku, the Shadow Essence on my enemies. Stay careful, I don't want anyone to see us here. I always notice how in the West people, teenagers, or always take their influence about how to control their feelings or rage through the help of celebrities, musicians. Because there is not a single one reliable education model or parental model to help them out with learning how to deal with their rage. But also inevitably leads to depression and mental problems. Hi. Hey, hurry up. Let's keep it with the Shinobu. I told you let's keep it with Shinobu because I need her right now. Wow. By the way, the statement blind as a bat is completely false. Bats can see better than us 10 times in the darkness. Calling someone blind as a bat is literally the same as calling someone you are very much superior in your sight in the dark. 10 times better than a human being. It is a compliment. A very strong compliment to the attack as well. So next time when you would like to make a sarcastic statement as you are as blind as a bat, just take it as a compliment. Because being sarcastic that way is really showing how ignorant you are for trying to use this as a joke. Also, when someone says they have the memory of a golden fish, sorry, but golden fishes have scientifically been proven to memorize lots of tricks, and their memory spans through weeks and weeks. Once you teach them some tricks to jump or spin, they never forget it. So when you again tell someone you have the memory of a golden fish, you are literally telling them you have a very much good memory in your brain. Just bunking some misconceptions and correcting some wrong ideology. Also, elephants have a very great memory, alongside with sharks and alongside with many other animals. Elephants keep always reminding themselves or about their ancestors went on through their migrations and travels to keep the entire pack alive and well kept. This chart is about the chakras, the 7 chakras. This is real. Do I remember? Not really, but this is obviously the red one is the rooted chakra. The purple one is the third eye, the crown, the throat, the heart, the stomach, and the earth chakra, I think. This is the root. So root, earth, stomach, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. I think these are... yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. These are the chakras. I think they are learning them in order to continue more even learning about. Soul lessons.
もういいで。
This is the exit, I think. So Invisible, you started this video with your normal prayer. We get that. You prayed for Alfred's good being. Okay. Good enough. So after that, you began ranting about how people do not like you ever at all. Seriously? How you are sick of that treatment? Hello! Bye! And how much people think that you are a troll for merely not accepting with what the others consider being the norm? Was it in belief or in taste or even in your personal preferences? On so many websites, YouTube, Pinterest, Pixiv, DeviantArt, Dailymotion, Upload Society, everywhere where there are other people to speak with. Sora's letter. Hikaru, We may have received a ray of hope. A letter arrived this morning from a man who signs as the Soul Alchemist. He offers his hand to our cause. I've heard rumors about him. Some say he performs miracles with the life essence, while others say he undertakes terrible experiments in the name of his art. Either way, he may be our only option. At this rate, we'll be dead before we find another, and the Shadow Empress will rise again. We can't fail Rio like this. Meet me outside at the hour of the horse. Sora. Hour of the rat, hour of the horse. What does that mean? Sorry, I didn't learn about the Aragami hourly names yet. Time names. What was I talking about again? Yeah, whenever it is about multiple people exchanging their preferences, tastes, or knowledge, it's no longer about exchanging information with morale and respect towards the exchanged knowledge. It's always if your preference is not like mine, you are wrong and I am right. And whenever your taste is not the same as mine, as in you are my duplicate, then you are as good as dead. In short, you have reached a level of extreme narcissism that others have no right at all to choose for themselves anymore. Come on. Oops. Tell me nobody saw anything. What? Go! Shut up. Yeah, he's dead, so what? Big deal. Just in case. You will die by my hand, while that guy... Shinabo! Thank you. The thing is, we have reached a level of narcissism and self-centeredness that we no longer accept difference, accept exchanging what could make us valuable to one another, and worst of all, nobody can stand the others around them. It's either you yourself or nobody else. I am sick completely. Just last night, someone in fact gave me a comment. I bet that and do not even talk to you at all with that kind of ideology. Frankly, I don't care. If I am looking for a companion for myself, I'd rather that not be a human being at all. I'm not interested in human beings. Frankly speaking, for real, yeah. I do honestly plan on dying a single person. This world is not worth procreating in it, and it's not worth even surviving in it. I'm sick of you, by the way. Die. Only if cleansing the world from the filth in it was this easy. See why I love very much power fantasy? When you have the power to change the world around you to a certain degree without breaking it, but also the world itself will not need to your personal desires just because you want them. You have to work for them. But in exchange, the world wouldn't mind at all if you became an unstoppable force. In our hell we call Earth, that power is monetary and finance. Since the knowledge and educational power is looked so much down upon, it's almost as if it is completely worthless. What's this thing? Oh, a key. Nowadays, everybody is sick of education, sick of school, is sick of each other completely. I mean, I'm starting to ask for a reason why you shouldn't kill instantly everyone that's around you. And frankly, to be honest, so far, I have seen throughout my life, these approximately 30 years, yeah, it ain't worth it. It simply ain't worth it. Living just to get educated, or even living itself to procreate, to do whatever. It's worth it. Who knows, perhaps I just began this stream while having a depression episode starting with me, I don't know. Yeah, I am a person with the clinically chronic severe depression. Deal with it, I don't really care. To call for its number of... Would you... How many times do you have to disappear and re-render right before my eyes exactly? You know what, never mind, I don't really care. I'm too much nitpicky. Let's be direct and frank with you, guys. I'm a person who is not afraid of death. If I die, I don't care. Maybe this is among the reasons why I take everything very much seriously and completely have no sense of humor at all. I took some medications to completely deprive myself of feeling or sensing anything in order to be productive. They worked. They worked really well. In fact, too well. Because they helped me to realize that my own personal type of depression is named ilaconical depression. Means, no, I am not begging for I'm not begging for neither understanding or empathy. I'm just saying it out loud out of my facial butt, just so that you understand what I'm going through. That's it. I cannot feel anything at all other than rage and vengeance. If I cannot have the right to, at the very least, be angry for what I believe in, it's the same for me, literally, as being dead. And that's exactly what the medications done to me. Feeling nothing, literally. Happened here. Isn't Yuki supposed to be here? Not sure, honestly, had I recorded this offline and then uploaded it online, maybe I wouldn't have. Perhaps I would have edited all of everything of this. But by now, frankly, I don't care. What is in here? I can see that it's a death trap, obviously. This is a too well-guarded place. Why? Shit. Almost a gunner. Going to do them. For them. Then break that glass. With glass dome. Something is right in here. Want me to discover it. You perhaps? Don't know. This is too much. This is excessive. This is too excessive. Unless is Yuki really here, or is this just a stupid death trap for me? This is too excessive. This is excessive. Go. No, no. Just go, go, move it. What I was thinking about, maybe fine, so it is then the death throat. Of course. Since I did not use that shrine to take myself a checkpoint. Everything I did wasn't saved. Come here. I better finish this level before I lose the interest in finishing it. I wonder what triggered me this time. Usually I'm very calm, very much introverted, don't like to talk much. Is it something that I stated unconsciously that made me to almost explode? I do not believe in talks that are not followed by actual actions. If someone is going to say something, commit to it. If someone is going to threaten someone with something, commit to it. If you don't have the guts to commit, then don't say anything. It's just that simple. If you're going to support someone, something, then do it. If you're going to start a fight with someone, then do it. I am sick of people always hiding behind verbal threats, not following them with. And that also includes if you're going to threat someone or their family with destroying their reputations or killing them, go for it. Yes, I just said it. Say it. Go for it. Prove to everyone that you actually have the guts to do it. Otherwise, keep your threats to yourself. If you're a coward who is disabled, hi, Bye. And no, I am not being very violent because I'm playing a game where I am playing as a cleanser, someone whose personal job is to cleanse the world from the corrupted people. No, this is just a very weird coincidence. Even if I weren't, like, if I'm not currently playing Aragami or just opened up some other stuff, I will not increase or be better. Most likely because I'm being myself as an INFJ. The 16 different personality by Maya the player. Maya the player. I am simply an idealistic, literal person. If I say I will do something, even if the world ends, I will do it. I never back from my words. Once again, this pistol only has the katana in it, and I not really care about lifting it again. Lifting it is only for the achievements. I am playing offline. I do not collect achievements. I'm only playing video games because I enjoy playing them and because of the gameplay itself. I do not care much about the quality. That's why most of my gameplay, if not all of it, is always either on medium or on low. Because I cherish my computer. I don't want it to burn. Either this path or that path. That path being extremely guarded. Something is in here. It's guaranteed. Something is hidden here. What is it? The game gives me approximately 10 seconds for the bomb is triggered. While that timer is still active, I need to do my best to reach Doom and deactivate it. Now! What is in here that requires all of this secrecy and extreme guarding? Or? Wait a minute. Have I somehow managed to take the back door for the place? Meaning, I have the advantage of the surprise element somehow? Should I look at him? Thank you. And you, take that one. Hi. Everybody usually who listened to me while I am speaking this like this would instantly tell me if you the world for a single day would cause the end of the world because of how much nihilistic my thought pattern is. And to that I say I don't care. So we finished a complete full circle. Basically, if I wish to take the harder way without the key. I would have just had to simply come from that place here, run all this path, break that dome, then come here, jump through these hoops, and reach the gate. All what I did was simply killing the rest of the filth that is Skyhome. That's it.
Ormani.
Yama! 誰の
フレディ やめこ。オツの声か。津田さん。
Well, if Yuki is dying, why don't you just let him die? It's your fault for stealing someone else's soul within yourselves. You deserve to die. You deserve it. We'll talk right now once we finish reading this story-related dialogue. The comb now carries a tiny part of Yamiko's soul, but there is a problem with the bells. Perhaps their connection to Yamiko isn't as strong as I thought.
Not an area.
Something then. Talk about Richie. By the way, I saw how you spoke with Rio, the Aragami. And honestly, Sora, if this is your normal personality while speaking with someone foreign to you, then no wonder Rio died rather than being with you.
オツの声か。津田さん。
Perhaps I can sustain a fragment more comfortably than Yuki or anyone of you. However, being so close to Yamiko is more difficult than needs to be. You wish to sustain a fragment?
力をその意味。
Let us retreat from the city where I will remove the entire fragment from him and sustain it myself. Kyoryu Forest should be an appropriate distance.
誰のディエ
Is that absolutely necessary?
いや。
The risks are too great otherwise.
やめな
Very well.
だノロツナイコ やだ彼いそう
Doesn't make sense. Huh?
グロールだアスリアク
When he attempted to transfer the bills, something wasn't right.
いえ、で でも
It failed.
来るいつもいつか
I can't help but wonder. Perhaps he did it on purpose. Perhaps he wants Yamiko's soul fragments for himself. Yamiko's soul fragments for himself. He could be luring them somewhere more isolated.
もう他をも見ね
What could he want? Soul. Yamiko is in danger either way. I think I know where they're going.
よ誰にかな誰の
Pio, we will not be able to leap in and kill them in one attack.
忍おつこいかすだりよ
Shinobu, I shall not revenge on our duty to Yamiko. To renege.
Come on.
That's not what I... Let's steal the comb.
セルだの
The comb.
待っておむオルダー2ジャラティ
It contains a sliver of Yamiko's soul. It's not enough to bring her back, but perhaps we can make it easier. Make use to it. To make the captains vulnerable. Perhaps then we'll stand a chance.
死よ背くあれフォルイレ
Can't waste any more time. Shall take that comb. Okay. Let me remind you about the situation we are right now in Aragami, okay? This is Hugh, Yamiko's foster father and her father's best friend, Inari. This is their emblem, the Nishiko. Hugh here was one of the 4 generals of Dakodaga, the Guild of the Shadow Essence Users. People who have combined their powers with the shadow element, the darkness. So they can shadow leap, create shadows, and assassinate as they wish. Their job mainly was to keep the entire nation secured and safe. Okay. This is their crest, the Dakodaga. One day, Inari brings his fiancée Mitsuki to the leaders' meeting. And he introduces her to his friends, including Hyo himself. Saigosen, a Brotherhood of Light, starts playing tyrannic and attacks farmers, villagers, and commits atrocities. Thinking they have caught him finally, Hyo and his men attack their camp. Sadly, they were just decoy. Inari and his wife Mitsuki are both killed. 5 years later, rumored to have died, Yamiko, Inari's personal daughter, alongside with Mitsuki, is found while conducting research and investigation on Saigosen, the cursed Brotherhood fight. Throughout that time, Yamiko grew up in the wild alone and turned from a human being into a predator in order to survive on her own. After Hyo, by miracle, gets her back again, this guy right here I'm playing as, and brings her back to Dakodaga, she becomes a prodigy with her shadow techniques usage. That gives her the honor of gaining the Shadow Dagger. Symbol of maturity within Dakodaga's numbers. of assassins, alongside with Ryota and Orochi, her team members. They become Dakodaga's best ever assassination, espionage, spying, and nation cleansing of corruption team. What happens next? Saigosen's headquarters are discovered. I said tyrannic Brotherhood of Light is discovered finally. Hyo requests from Team Yamiko to deal with them without knowing how perhaps that would affect her health. He doesn't expect as turns out the entire mission was an ambush from them both, the cursed brothers of Saigosen. They ambush Team Yamiko completely. They kill both Ryota and Orochi. Having seen her best friends and team members getting killed in front of her face, right after having noticed her parents also dying before her face, Yamiko snaps, unleashing her bloodline special power. Shiz. Shadow Beast Fusion. Their family line is among the very few lines that's capable of giving the humans the very powers Shadow Beast that they summon to do their bidding. She becomes the nine-tailed fox demon. That is this beautiful emblem of power and honor. Shadow, honor, respect, and authority. After having gone berserk completely, she destroys the capital of Saigosen altogether on her own. Once she gets out of the doors for the headquarters of Saigosen, her guild of Dakodaga is lost for words for how to describe the description of the entire situation. They simply respect Yamiko to the levels of literal worship, considering her powerful like a goddess. Yamiko doesn't listen to anyone other than Hyo. Simply put, he used to be her father's best friend, and he is also her personal foster father. So, he asks her to become their empress. That they, in fact, get rid of any kind of light brotherhood tyrannic uprising before it even starts. And thus their cleansing of the light essence abusers starts. Notice how I made a very strong concentration upon the word abusers, meaning those who can use the light essence to a very talented degree that if they were to use it the wrong way, they could become another light brotherhood rising tyrannic killers. From that day onwards, Yamiko starts to learn more and more how to control her power, how to help Hyo with the work inside Dakodaga, or rather Nishiko, the empire of the shadow element. And as she learns her new duties, becoming the strongest ever person in entire Nishiko. These disgusting creatures start to get to know the lunatic Tsuyoshi. Tsuyoshi used to be a life essence sage, just kind of like our helpful Shibu here. Tsuyoshi wished to discover the limits of how much one can cultivate and learn to control the essence powers. Basically, you learn how to train your own soul to control the precious elements.
やめべこ千代その子あれフォルイで
The problem is, nobody has ever before tried to control the life essence itself. Basically, the soul as is a soul. But Tsuyoshi decides to try it out alongside with the other supposed sages before they start to know how one can literally steal out and control someone else's life force. Another katana that I found by mere mistake. This makes them believe that if they can perhaps toy a little bit more with the life force itself, they would discover the secrets of immortality. And with that, they make their first ever Mild Shah their disciple. The disciple learns very quickly how to manipulate the life essence, how to use it and abuse it. The problem with Malta is that he has a crush on some girl, and she is diseased, some illness, and she's about to die. What does this lunatic do? Easy. He uses what he had learned. He tries his best to seal away a part of his own spirit into his own, so that she never dies, but also never truly alive. Malsha rejects the word of his own mentors and dies, being the first ever apprentice for them to teach and for them to fail, passing his own life for it. With that, Tsuyoshi, for a single moment, starts to regain his sanity, that what they done was wrong, trying to play God and whatnot, and decide to forbid the usage of the soul-sealing technique altogether, and decide that it is too much potent and should not be practiced at all. What happens next? As you know, the lunatic believes that Nishiko is going too far with their own cleansing of the problematic light essence users, and thinks that they are also trying to play God. So he finds the 4 kids who he once discovered in the village that was completely sheltered from the outside world, and thus they never knew anything about Saigosen or the wars between the light and the darkness all the time. Also, they hate all kinds of strangers. They are completely isolated and self-sustaining as is. Nishiko discovers them and discovers how skillful these guys are with the light essence, and the fact that they have extreme potential. They are too dangerous to keep unsupervised. Thus, they decide to kill them all for the sake of prevention of another like a brotherhood creation. What happens? The complete opposite. These light essence users, these lunatics, for them, after they met up with the old madman Tsuyoshi, he for them became the foster parent and a god figure. He teaches them not only the soul sealing technique, but also how to use it, and they wish to use it against Yamiko, because they believe that since the Shadow Empress wishes to keep the land under firm control, security, and get rid of all the too much skilled light sense users, Nishiko now are literally the embodiment of the devil, and for that they must be destroyed. The cheater Tsuyoshi, believing that Nishiko has gone way too far with their practices with the Shadow Empress and their expansion with the Shadow Essence tribes and culture, it's about time that they themselves get rid of the Empress and all of Nishiko's guild completely. We are talking about two sides, opposite sides, one with the shadow and one with the light. Shadow are now trying to defend their own capital against the tyrannic invasion of the Light Brotherhood, the new Light Brotherhood, Kaiho, that wishes to kill all of the Shadow Essence users just because the Shadow Essence users tried to cull the number of the Light Essence users in order to keep the land safe. Wow!
Shinobu, what's the quick? Sudanio.
Ja, om jeg skal.
What the Guild of Nishiko didn't expect at all happening in that invasion of Kaiho against them was that the Cursed Brotherhood turned out to not just be a singular one, but rather a complete gathering of all the 7 elements together. I'm talking about fire, water, earth, air, shadow, light, and life essence. Yeah? For whatever cursed reason, suddenly the entire world is coming after the single Guild of Nishiko that's being led by a woman in her 22 years old who lost everything, literally, and is trying her best to find her place in life. Suddenly killing her is virtue because nobody likes the Shadow Essence. Wow. Not only do they massacre a big number of Nishiko forces,
この間家の回れ目ジュキ頼むぞ
ニモルすまね
いいのめ
たえらねまい落ちてこいくスーダニよ勇気我ねおるでスダラで
いや
よしにえ
いやマローノく
Yo, this is too much. We're making a mistake.
このスダしのぶそのアドマくねま
They're about to finish their work. We don't know even what the alchemist will do after harvesting Yamiko's soul fragment. We must attack now.
それいつもいつか
You are on the brink. You think you stand a chance. You think I stand a chance with you.
これ骨だ待つも
This was a fool's errand from the beginning. We don't need Yamiko to become good again. Enough sacrifices have been made for her already.
死ぬいくね
Don't you say that. Don't you dare. Bring her back is the only way.
力のよ
The only way for you, maybe. You. Nishiko died with Yamiko's capture. It's time to forget about this. It's time to reinstate Dakudaga.
いやいいよ
ソベリ骨だ
いやおめでとう
Chapter 4 The Fool. All he's doing is literally for Mitsuki's sake and Inana's sake. That's it. For the sake of his friends. And his friend's wife. So, the Light Brotherhood, Kaiho, believes they had the right to demand vengeance. Yes, Nush Daga indeed attacked them out of the blue. Yes, they massacred them all, but it wasn't Dakudaga's true fault, really. They just finished their fight with Saigosen. You really think that they had any time about another Light Brotherhood Rising? Sometimes calling the numbers is necessary. It was a necessary evil. But what kind of complete annihilation Kaiho demanded from to happen with Dakodaga, or rather Nishiko, was complete lunacy. You cannot purge completely the element of the shadow, darkness. Also, without the power of Nishiko, rather the power of Dakodaga, entire place would be engulfed utter chaos. People as is tend to abuse their power. People have no idea how to control powers they have no rights to keep without. Thank you, Shinobu, for your help. Disgusting. Man. I get it. The forces of Kaiho desired nothing more than to destroy the Shadow Guild completely, because they thought that Dakodaga or Nishiko simply attacked them because they could, just because they were pacifists. That's wrong. After having just got out from the war with Saigosen, Nishiko, after being established by Hio and Yamiko both, wanted nothing more than to stop tragedies from ever happening because of the light element. The only way is to destroy the threat-posing ones. Individuals with extreme talents to use the light essence for combat usage are a threat to the balance of the 7 elements. Thus, they had to clean up some filth. Also, upon having lost their village that sheltered them all their lives, the leaders of Kaiho, these wannabe generals, role playing as warlords, kids, suddenly wished to completely purge the existence of the Shadow Empress, believing that as a human being before she became a goddess, she had no the right to live or even to exist. Because, yeah, once you have the power, it will corrupt you and you will desire to be the god of your own kind. Hikaru is completely consumed by his rage. Sora is completely consumed by her hatred towards the Shadow Essence users as well. Ryo died early on by sacrificing his own life for the cheat soul saving technique. Yet again, war is a game where cheating is allowed. So what happens? Simple. Hio, as you can see from his own body, gets cursed by the life essence that Tsuyoshi used against him. Most likely he also sealed his own soul as well, in an effort to disable him. And he'll to him. Shut up. both of you. And then what happens? Once the four warlords reach Yamiko, trap her completely, they use against her the soul-stealing forbidden technique, once again playing God where they should never have been allowed to do so. They take her own life force from her. And after they have purged numbers upon numbers of the Shadow Essence users, talk about copying the very thing your enemy had done to you as revenge from them. An unjust revenge, to that matter as well. They decide that it's about time they completely killed Yamiko once and for all. So, what do? They completely desecrate Yamiko's own house by going into it, stealing her very own belongings, and using them for their own experimentation. So it is not alright when the Shadow Essence users use experimentation as they wish, but it's totally fine when the Light Essence users do the same. Racism has never been such black and white this level. The Shadow only wanted to keep the land safe, without corruption, without extremely strong individuals to stir up chaos and problems. The four leaders of the tyranny, that is Kaiho, lived together, found for themselves a mentor that for them became their surrogate father, or rather more like a god for them, after he began teaching them about the life essence and how to kill their enemy, Yamiko. They had each other, they had Tsuyoshi, and also they had all the enemies of Nishiko and Akutaka both with themselves. And they had literally an army. She remained in the wild, like a wild animal, away from the society for 5 years. She forgot how to talk or how to... And they insist that both sides are the same. No, they're not. Bridge was massacred, and you lost all of those who loved while running away for your life. While the other hand, as she ran, she witnessed the very death of her own parents. She lost her team in the front of her. She always lived her life alone, in fear, and that fear translated into complete wrath. So which kind of revenge do you think is more just? They are not similar in any shape or form at all.
Neo.
Wait, what? 9 minutes. Okay. There. Go. I have only 9 minutes to hurry up and reach the place above the statue.
Emma?
Die. Don't care. We now know we have only from this point onwards. We have only 9 minutes to reach above the statue. Go. I need a recharge, meaning a shadow kill. Damn it. Joey. Faster. Work. Where's the start of that line? We need to reach the upper side quickly. Also, I do require lots of shadow essence right now. This is the place. It needs a key. Key. Who holds the key? Has to be someone that's dressed differently from everyone else. Don't have time for this. Keep your shadow essence charged. We need to find the owner of that key quickly. 8 minutes and a half. Shadow sense. Go. Why? Go. That's the guy. The one in the red. He has the key. Because he has the model that's different than the others. How many do we have here? 3. Of course, we have still one of these pigs here. May the light perish with you. Disgusting, Hayo. Shinobu, take him now. Also you. We're done. Run quickly to the gate. 7 minutes before the alchemist finishes his work. With that comb, with Yuki. I need to ignore him. We have much more important matters to do now. Okay, we have to climb up this as quickly as possible. And as you can see, obviously the game will not make this any easier for me. Faster. I'm trying my best. Literally. Go. Quickly refresh my shadow essence. We're almost there. Almost there. No. How am I supposed to deal with this one? Are you serious? So this is a one go. Once we begin, we cannot stop.
Yo.
is this? Yeah, the barrier, the light barrier. Clears it. Start to charge. We already know where the key now is. I found that. I have a time limit, yeah, but remember, this is a pure stealth game. I don't want you to die again. That easily, at least. Go. Yes, we are in a hurry, but give me some time. I don't want to lose my stealth ability. Go. I do need to be careful while I reach that guy with the key. Why can't I jump? Sora, I think I'll write that here. Clear. Free. Damn it. This is literally the last part of this DLC.
姉
Yes, I just said it. This is the fall of the Nightfall. It will be quicker. It is. Now! Why do I hide them? To gain a little bit more of shadow sense. That's why. As you can see, I do get a little bit of shadow essence recovery. Faster. Correct, yes. I have already repeated this place twice. Only for third time. The idea I was trying to reach here was I love how much they make it as if it's very normal to take the belongings of someone just because you hate them in order to find a way to kill them using these things that belongs to them, and then use it to entrap their very own person into these things. Basically, it's only okay when they do it, but not okay when the others do it. It's only okay when the light starts. Believe they are heroes, but it's not okay when the shadow essence users actually do the very heroic things on their own, for real. I love it. Yes, I know, we have approximately 6 minutes now. I try my very best to finish off stuff here. Now, thank you for the key, that's all I need from you. Come on now. Are you for real? Get out of my sight. Here you go. Key. Open up. Says me. Come on now. Too far away. Too deep. Go. 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 Leap. Leap. Break. Six minutes to go. Always consider it 1 minute later to make you set a little bit faster. Can't I leap behind it? Ugh. It's time left. This is a light bomb. Now, go. Okay. We need to reach that place. Go. Go. Can I just break this as well? Finish it.
Ichiban.
シノブ、チヨ、ソムコアレ、フォルイデ。
俺も彼そね。
We cannot take them all at once. It is certain death. But if we coordinate our strikes, perhaps we can kill Yuki, the alchemist too, if we're lucky.
他につけそれの後に。
But we drew the line there. We make an attack, we flee, we regroup. Remember what the alchemist said. Releasing but one of Yamiko's soul fragments could unshackle her.
このシク。
We've got no time for this, Shinobu.
バナヤ。
Promise me.
シノブ、テリノーメ。
Here!
Thank you for playing Aragami NightFall. So now we know? Now we know. The Life Essence Alchemist wished to steal Yamiko's soul fragment for himself. Yuki was killed by Hyu's own hands. Shinobu's fate is unknown. She took an arrow and fell into the water, to the river. I told you before that these rivers meant instant death normally. Not sure what happened, whether she lives or dies. Even if she lives, I doubt she would, since she lost her own mentor. Even though her survival ability is very small, since she took a direct hit. Sora killed Shinobu, I believe so. And Hyo killed Yuki. Hikaru, the racist, disgusting warlord, decapitated Hyo. And now the story went full circle. Since a soul fragment of Yamiko returns to her, she summons Aragami alongside, sadly, the part of Ryo's own soul, and he revenges Hugh and everyone else who died by the disgusting blades of Hikaru. He also takes revenge for Shinobu for her death with Sora's own arrow as well. Yes, I thought this game, this DLC had 7 missions. Turns out, nope, had 4. Wow. So the single soul fragment she picked was more than enough for her to regain consciousness and start calling for the Aragami soul, the vengeful spirit of unquenched thirst for killing. And with that, it's game over, officially. Yeah, that's all. What else is there? I could go back, play as Shinobu, the entire, once more, the entire DLC if I wish to. I can go into missions mode and start mission editor mode, where I can make my personal maps and fill them with enemies as I wish. Such a kind of skins, since already I'm new. Pretty much, yeah, we made it. Aragami and Aragami NightFall. I don't really know why this keeps happening. It's no more to be continued. This one is properties and the end of the DLC. This took from me 2 hours to finish off the game. First stream, we finished the first 3 missions. And today we finished the rest of them. I believe it was the first mission alongside the tutorial. Regardless, I have satisfied my arrogance and finished all of Aragami completely. Aragami 1, NightFall DLC, and Aragami 2. The series is over until LinceWorks hopefully wish to make other games like this, if the story wishes to continue onwards, since we learned already that the curse will keep on going with them in Aragami 2, and there's no way at all to get rid of it. I know for a fact that I chose a very weird timing for this video. I don't really mind it. But I hope that you had enjoyed your viewership as much as I enjoyed the gameplay. I'm so sorry I turned this entire stream into a one big rant, but honestly, I'd rather reduce a little bit instead of keeping my depression levels on the rising non-stop. With Aragami having been finished and Kena Bridge of Spirits also having been finished, the next project about it, honestly, I don't really know, but I was thinking honestly about trying to do something else. There's a specific thing in my mind that I think it's about time we reach it once again. Who knows? I might in fact go for it. Until next session, until we discover what kind of new project we will be starting, Kena Bridge of Spirits and Aragami 2 and 1 are all AA games. They're not AAA. That's why their length is not too much. In fact, it is quite good for these types of games. Also, if I can here, while we are still live streaming, edit the information for the stream. Aragami NightFall DLC Let's Play Stream 2 Final Part plus Invisible Rants a lot. I think this is a suitable title enough. Save. Good work. Okay, let's finish this off so I can go and do something else. I'd like to thank all of my viewers, all of my subscribers, new and old, all of my viewers returning and new, online or offline. I'd like to pray peace be upon all of my subscribers, new and old, viewers online and offline, new and old. Peace be upon all of my family members, my teachers, and my classmates. Peace be upon all of my fans and followers. Peace be upon the beasts of the altered family and our friends on YouTube, Friends United Discord. Peace be upon all of my friends by name: Thunderstruck Gaming, BH09 Gaming, Luxbar, Marcos, Nitro Crash, Mark Icy, Rugijan Karudan, Cryfield, ZPTV123, Matthew 1121, Slakada85, and Arfreal from Discord. Also Marcel Pan Gaming, once I remember how to write your name as well. Peace be upon you all. I hope you stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and I pray that your well-being remains and stay strong in our situation nowadays. I need to go back to doing my studies. I'll try to pick something new for the next session. Besides, I am interested in trying to start streaming from my emulator. I do have PCSX2. Who knows what I might end up choosing to do. I wish from you to answer me whether or not you do encourage me to start up a Patreon, since I do need some support and encouragement for continuing on with this line of work as a gamer. I don't really mind to continue uploading the older stuff. Besides, I do have to still upload a lot more later on. If I finish my master's degree and find this path of career to be prosperous and convenient, I might truly go full all out attack 8 hours a day, streaming non-stop. I may do it, but once I finish first the master's degree, if I don't find anything else to do. But that also would mean this should be more profitable. I love gaming, and I do love also recording for others and being helpful. Looks like I by mistake started recording something here. Well, at least now we know that I can somehow record and stream at the same time. Interesting. Yeah, I recorded a video that's 3 minutes long. Ignore it. Anyway, I think that I have nothing else to say here. Until next time, we shall meet again. The new project and the new supply. Who knows what will be. I hope my ranting today didn't get on your nerves too much. Sorry about it. I guess I'm just too tired currently with all the stuff happening. With that being said, this has been Invisible with you, YouTube's first ever slasher, coming to you from the dark side of the moon with best of hopes and prayers for best of luck and a brighter future. Once again, I state that I do not wish for anything, because wishing in the language is always connected with being the negative possibility of something not happening, while hoping for something is the positive that something would happen for actuality. My final comment for this game: I loved this series. I loved the gameplay and the style. And let's see what the future holds for us. Invisible, sign out. Take care all, and best of luck. You will not be able to reconnect. Your stream will stop and you will no longer be live. It's fine. I am prepared. As per usual, I messed up all of my outro, so whatever. First it is crediting the game, then praying for the friends and followers and whatnot. And lastly, you say sign out or looking out. Either way. Whatever. See you all in the next time.